right, everybody's away tonight. Call a meeting to order. Any additions or deletions to the agenda?
A few.
A few.
We're always talking about dark. Mobile home.
Mini home?
Yeah. Under business arising, project lists from the Director of Public Works. And correspondence.
The one that's there now, or
no? An additional.
What's that?
Yeah.
What's the title to it?
It's just, I want to discuss the letters we
Claire.
send to whoever, just
yeah.
so we get copies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, anything else? If not, the motion to approve?
So moved.
Seconded.
Yeah, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion is carried. So we put the delegations up front and first, so you don't have to sit here for 3, 4, 5 hours.
Really?
So you get down here with regards to active transportation.
Yeah.
Okay, what are your questions on that? We haven't done anything with active transportation.
Oh, okay. Well, first, before I speak, I want to thank Alan Franklin for last week, or the last meeting, because that was my main thing I wanted to address at the beginning. It was the same issues that what he had.
Oh, yeah.
So he already brought them up, so I just want to thank him for that. And on this here active transportation, Leslie really filled me in quite a bit of, well, things I wanted to know. But I'm asking, I guess, on behalf of other people, nobody knows about this.
No,
I know you had a meeting.
We had public meetings.
You have, yeah, I only like 5 people showed up because they were I think I was misinformed, and maybe they think the same way I did.
Yeah.
I had no idea what that meant until I went to the meeting, and I was just wondering if how far this has gone, that it's going to be implemented.
Right there.
Right here.
That's as far as it's gone. Yeah, the town receives money, provincial or federal, to develop an active transportation plan. They'll look at improving sidewalks, trails, streets to make it more friendly for mobile, people to walk, people to hike, people to ride, people with mobility issues. So under that grant that was provided, that's what was developed. That document you have in front of you.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's going to take more money than we have, so.
Yeah, I was reading this. It looks like it's in the millions.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't think we ever did cost it out, did we, to any.
No, it just looks like it's up there.
It could be, yeah. Now, what would happen now if we were going to take it to the next level?
Yeah.
It would probably be done in phases, to be fair, and then we'd be looking for grants and things from the various levels of government.
And would people have input on that?
As it rolls along again, when we put it back out there, to be fair, if we don't get money soon, we're probably going to have to redo some of it. And then to be input,
yeah.
Like there was last time. And actually, you say 5 people, there were quite a few here.
Well, when I was there at the meeting at the time, they were showing the plan down at the center, or.
Okay, that was one of them. There was one here.
Oh, so I didn't know about that one.
Here they had unfortunately, that went in a different direction. That was during COVID time, so people misinterpreted what we were trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, I read this and I still don't understand.
Do you have any specific questions?
Well, it looks like we're going to have a one-way street. That's what that looks like from what I'm seeing. First Avenue.
First Avenue was one-way when I lived on it.
Yeah, well then maybe it looks like it's going back to it then. I don't know.
Well, that's one of the.
I don't know. That's one of the things I'm seeing.
Yeah. People forget that though. First Avenue was one way.
And do we need bike? I know that bikers will say yes, we need it.
Bicycles, not bikers. Bicycles.
Well, bicycles. Okay, yeah. People on bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a need in Digby for bike lanes.
Well, we were looking at doing a bike lane on Mount Street. We'll do the first phase, but that's not happening now. Just a little wider sidewalks and a wider street for bikes to ride. But more and more people are starting to ride bikes. Less and less people can afford cars.
What change would this make for the town, like downtown? Would there be anything done downtown? Like, couldn't understand where the ATVs would be coming in.
ATVs would be using rails and trails that we.
Just on the trails that are there?
Trails there, and then, and then potentially First Avenue, come off the railway yard, down to First Avenue, and back on the trail. Yeah.
The way the old train tracks used to.
You remember the train track?
Yeah. That's where they're gonna be coming in through?
Right here,
Yeah.
yeah, just from the Scotia Bank to, Montague Road where the old Siesta was, and then they get back on the railway bed. Well, it's railway trail through there, but it's where they go. Not downtown, not on other streets.
Okay.
Although I see the province announced 4 or 5 projects this week of ATV trails on
Yeah.
highways and roads and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I can chime in for a
Yeah.
sec, so the plan that's there, even though like they've done the plan for us in terms of, in a sort of perfect world, that's what the planners suggest we could potentially do. But everything that's in there, none of it at all is a requirement for us to do. And when we're looking at developing stuff like Mount Street, we'll take it street by street, project by project. And essentially, it's only if it makes sense to us and if there's money to do it. So as Ben said, if there's no money, we're not gonna make wholesale changes just to add, bike lanes or update things like that. It's more, that's their proposal for us, like a guideline if we wish to use it, but we have no requirement to use that when we're doing, infrastructure upgrades throughout the town. So there's no requirement at all to follow it, and, it's nice to have their thoughts on it, but it's not necessarily the direction we would, potentially go down the road when we're doing things.
So there would be input from the people.
The plan, probably at some point, going to be revisited. If we suddenly start getting money, start able to do some development, there would be some more input. 'Cause there was input, 2 meetings, one here, one at the Digby Center. Not Digby Center, Digby Station.
Yeah.
And people had their input in there at that time.
Oh, okay.
But,
Anybody I talked to, nobody seemed to know about it, and I thought,
well, it depends on the demographics, I guess, who's interested in active transportation trails, like hiking and that kind of stuff, so.
because it seems like a big change.
No, really, it wasn't a big change. It was identifying, improving bike lanes, like we said, Mount Street was one of the ones that was considered. It's not really happening.
It says in here, Carlton Street, that the end of Carlton Street would no longer be.
That could be an entry point to the town, an entry point there, one down at the Irving Garage, fix those areas all up, grass them all up. Consider closing that short road there.
What's the gateway?
Just the entry point into the community. So you'd have a big sign in green space that said, this is the gateway to the community.
Oh, so they'd be one on one end and one on the other.
Yeah, just to kind of dress it up, make it look nice. You're entering the core of the town.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
No gates, signage, green spaces, benches, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
It's not so much too that the study didn't say, okay, here's the plan of what we're going to do. The study was to say, okay, if you're looking at transportation, here's all the things that you should keep in mind. Cyclists, pedestrians, cars, all of those, and that's how that picture was painted, if you will. It's not, we're doing this and we're doing this and it was to suggest, here are all the things you should keep in mind if you're gonna make any changes at all. And that's where it wasn't, we're gonna make everything one way, we're gonna make cars into downtown, we're gonna, no parking. That wasn't the whole idea at all. And that's what
A lot of that kind of looked like it, like when I'm reading it. It's always be nice to have a meeting and have it explained, I don't know.
Well, again, we could do a third one. But I would suggest if you show that to people and they got questions, you tell them to contact staff.
Yeah.
Give them the answers, because it's kind of a dream.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say a dream.
Yeah, it sure looks like a dream to me.
It's a dream, and if the government drops.
And it's all money, I mean, it's,
Anybody can implement that. We've got a lot of money.
Well, it is being implemented around most communities if they run into.
But it's not.
I could see it in the city. I could see that, or a big town, but.
Big town.
But you can look at those things and pick out,
Some.
we can afford to do this.
This much.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah,
And that's how, like I said, we go in phases.
okay,
Now, that's a good example, sorry, Ben. Yeah, it's a good example, I talked about the sidewalk. We were gonna replace the existing sidewalk that was there, but when they talked about sidewalks in that document and suggested it's not a lot more money to move sidewalks a little farther away from traffic and make them a little bit wider so that it accommodates a much more safe feeling for people who are walking on the sidewalk.
Mhm.
Those little things we were able to do.
yeah.
And that's what's gonna happen on Mountain Street. There's gonna be a curved green space in the sidewalk.
What space?
A green, like grass.
Okay, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
that walk,
yeah,
but
yeah.
just to keep people away from the road a little bit. And a
Uh-huh.
curve to try to keep cars from going up on the sidewalks.
Okay.
Those are the kind of things that I'm looking at. It's not a massive project, but if you have friends within the provincial government that can give us $1 million,
Well, maybe 10.
10 million,
Yeah, 10
okay,
million.
well. But the initial funding came from various levels of government to allow us to do that.
And it probably doesn't help for most folks, because the government uses active transportation to cover a huge, like, canopy of different topics. And they could have made it a little clearer instead of just saying, all of this is under active transportation. Because that could be buses, and as Paul said, it's
Yeah.
cyclists, it's pedestrians, it's
I mean,
everything.
because
So
this,
it doesn't really make it easy to understand or know what you're looking at until you sit and read the however many pages.
Yeah.
the thing is.
it looked like a big project to me, and I thought, and a lot of money.
Oh, it is a lot of money, and if you did the one project, if you did everything on that plan
Yeah.
at once,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
10 to 20.
Which we don't have.
No.
People,
Yeah.
we do a project like that, typically it's through grant processes and borrowing to do
Yeah.
projects.
Okay, that was I was really interested in this. I just thought, well, nobody seems to know anything about it that I talked to. I should say nobody knows, but I mean,
Yeah, that's a year
a
old.
lot of people. And I just wanted to know what was what.
Yeah, but
And-
tell people, pick up
Yeah.
the phone, call.
Oh yeah, I will.
Call them.
I will.
You will, yeah.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah,
That's the idea of it, right? Let's find out. Maybe a lot of people are interested. You know, I'm just one person. But and just one more thing. There was a comment once on a council meeting that the splash park was a want, not a need. I think it was you, Mr. Swindle,
At
that
the
said
time,
that. It's beautiful to see Tiveview Terrace up there under that water. It's warming, and it's just. I know you don't want the water to run 24 hours a day anyway, but to see it used when it's being used, and it does welcome, I think, physicians to be in here. That's another thing added that their kids can do, right?
Yeah.
So it is really a need.
When,
Yeah.
we meet with potential doctors, with families, they wanna know what there is for educational
Yeah.
services here, they wanna know what there's here for recreational services, and they wanna know what there is for their spouses to do, their husband or wife,
That's right.
and you go by there and the kids are screaming, you saw the
Oh my gosh.
diving there,
Oh, look, what was any nicer than to see that, you know?
and that water's cold, I saw.
That water's cold. But they were smiling, and that's what it's all about. So I just wanted to say, I just wanted to bring that up, that there was a need.
Did you
I
see
think.
when they were at their,
Oh,
on the
yes.
ice, on the ice?
Who, Tiveview? No, I didn't see them on the ice.
On the ice,
Yeah,
with
those
their
games.
wheelchairs and,
Yeah, yeah,
having the time of their life.
yeah, they beat the Leafs that day too.
Okay. All right, thank you.
But tell people, people get on social media and go in a circle, all they gotta do is pick up the phone call and they get the answer.
Yeah, that's what I like to do. Just come. I got to come from the horse's mouth, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Okay, minutes of the previous meeting.
I'll move that to the previous meeting. Be accepted as presented.
Okay. Seconder?
Second.
Any errors or omissions noted? I guess there wasn't any, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Second and final reading respecting certain exemptions from the Fire Protection Group Bylaw 2024. I guess we'll make note of that for the minutes. Like I said,
wants to read that off?
No, just the last, not the whole thing, no.
Move that this bylaw shall take effect, the bylaw number 2024-02 shall take effect in the town of Digby taxation year commencing April 1st, 2024.
Second.
Any discussion? We'll get that, everybody, well, they'll get, they just won't get a tax bill for it, so. All those in favor of that, say aye, aye.
Aye.
Any nays? None.
Leave.
You?
Leave.
No.
Leave and ecclesiastical.
Oh, Ecclesiastical.
The two words that I asked about last time.
Ecclesiastical, that was an insurance company too. Ecclesiastical insurance company.
I'll explain to you what a whipple is later.
Thank you.
Just noted a few errors. Draft road trails destination bylaw, that's back to us because there were a couple amendments, discussion changes.
So the question was asked concerning a review or a time limit.
Yep.
And, so I've done a little more research and also contacted our solicitor. And, his comment was bylaws remain in effect until they are repealed, and I would recommend like a review clause in that clause. So, the bylaw that we just passed, or you just did a second reading and final reading to, number 4 says this bylaw shall be reviewed on an annual basis to examine the tax exempt status of the properties exempted. So what I put in this one was a little bit different. Number 5, which is other, says the bylaw will be reviewed from time to time and can be amended because of experience or new knowledge, but shall be reviewed no later than 5 years from the date of adoption. So basically what it says is, and that time limit, if we want it annually, we can put it annually. That's not an issue.
Personally, I would need it 6 months, because with an election coming up, if we are not re-elected, then that would go by the wayside and the bylaw would stand. It wouldn't get a review in 6 months. Unless someone wrote something in there to say in 6 months it must be reviewed.
But all bylaws.
I know,
So you're
once the
suggesting-
bylaw is enacted,
No, I'm just gonna suggesting you have that in all bylaws, so.
no, I'm not saying in all,
This one,
I'm saying this one.
this one?
Yeah.
I predict in 10 years, they're gonna be all over the roads, highways, they're gonna be licensed.
Well, they're now.
Well, no, yeah, I know they are now. I watch them go zoom, zoom, but I mean, they're gonna be legal for the secondary
So-
roads. I see
But
that.
it says, will be reviewed and can be from time to time, which means that it can be, any bylaw technically can be reviewed at
Yes.
any time,
Yes.
especially if there's some issues that come up, and so. if-
Right, but my point is I would like to see a 6-month trigger. So that at the end of 6 months, it must be reviewed to continue. Do you know what I'm saying? In 6 months, we might not all be here.
I don't think it gives it enough time to, if you're gonna have issues with it, or, you know,
You're gonna
it
have a
doesn't,
thick month. You're having
doesn't
issues
give you,
now.
I don't think it gives you enough time, personally.
And what would trigger the review? Like, what would be things that would trigger the review? Noise?
I think,
what-
no, it's not any one thing, it must be reviewed in 6 months.
Yeah, I know what you're
Yeah.
saying here, but if it's, will be reviewed from time to time, what would trigger a review from time to time?
All the issues that I have asked and talked to people about now, whether it's right now they're speeding down there at too fast a speed, people are being driven off the trail because people are being shoved into the ditch.
Yeah, I walked
The
into town the other
noise,
day and
yeah.
stepped aside because they
Yes.
were going by
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, and I guess it comes down to my bone of contention is we have an enforcement issue. We don't have an ATV issue. And it's going to, in my mind and the people that I've spoken to, giving credence to allow them to use one specific route, an inch and a mile, they're gonna take that and you're gonna see the people that are all over town now even worse. And we're still not gonna have any enforcement.
And I think that's the reason, as I understand that you're asking for like a,
Yes.
like a specific time frame on it. And, you know, maybe to Peter's point, maybe it's a year, but I kind of agree with this one, and probably specifically because we're putting the ATVs on the road, maybe we need to have that in there. Because, hey, there is a chance, the way I hear it, half the town is running for council, in the fall, so,
Yeah.
we wanna make sure that that's something that's, you know, that's looked at, just to make sure that it's, that it's working. I'm probably more the optimist on it, that having more folks on the trail can be good, but I do acknowledge there's gonna be gaps in that, because you're not always gonna have those folks up there. And, yeah, you know, hopefully the bad actors, the ones that are already abusing stuff, don't take it as that inch to a mile thing, but they might. But I mean, I don't see it as hurting to set it and say, next August, we sit down and review it. Plus that makes it far enough away, you might not have to do it, so.
It's, what if you just didn't put this in effect till October, because you mentioned new council.
The new council will have to do,
I mean, that's,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
another option, if you're
Yeah.
concerned whether what the new council's gonna think or not, and if your council is not ready, then you just basically, you just table it until the new new council's
Which we've done, what we've done in the past, counting since I've been here, sometimes September, October, we get into contentious issues. We say, instead of saddling the new council with this, we'll let the new council get elected and then deal with it. Because they'll deal with it for the next 4 years. Some of us here could be dealing with it for the next 2 months. So is that an option?
Just throw that
Lots
one.
of options out there. I know what Paul said, and I also know that I got calls, well, actually, one guy called me, he said, I'm a little disappointed in the town on this, and I said, what's that? He said, usually Digby's, up front, move this stuff ahead of everybody else, and now we're lagging behind on this. I said, well, we just wanna make sure we get it right.
Yes.
We get it right. Yeah. So we can leave it as is, we can put some kind of review clause in there, or you can
Well,
put it,
we
or
still
like
have-
6 months, or you can wait.
We still have questions about the marshalling yard and where they come off,
Yeah.
between First Avenue and, you know, that sort of thing. There's gonna be growing pains no matter what you do and how you introduce it, and people are gonna have to learn where they can park and where the trail actually goes, share the road.
Yeah, that's why the designation, if you go to the designation, that's why it's pretty, it's specific, and that's,
Yeah.
like First Avenue from Civic number 194 to the Mount Street intersection. But technically, they can leave across from Carlton to that piece of trail from Carlton Green intersection to First Avenue, and then they can travel right straight through, don't have to go to the marshalling yard, but yet,
Yes.
if we get that section of that trail done, then they have that option. Right?
Most people can visualize things better than reading too, so a diagram,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know,
And
just showing the written lines of where they can go, can't go,
Yeah.
would be helpful, especially, yeah.
I've got those.
Yeah.
Hit those.
One meeting you did, I have them there for people to see.
Maybe the whole meeting, I believe it was.
How long do you think it'll take between us passing this and them being able to get proper signage up so that the trail can be opened? Because I believe it was the ATV Association that was gonna be giving us the funding for signage. I mean, cause if we pass it, it takes 3 months before they put signage up, then reviewing it in 6 months might not work. But maybe it
Well,
might be,
I think those signs will be up tomorrow.
Okay.
They probably got them.
okay,
I don't know, but I guess it'll be up quite quickly if we pass this, yeah.
yeah. I think with respect to like the not knowing exactly all the specifics and the growing pain side, it kind of reinforces the need for doing a review, just to make sure, because maybe we have to review some of the road crossings or review any complaints that come in the short term to see if there's small adjustments we need to make. Because even in going through this, we've talked about a half dozen or a dozen different like tweaks here, there, and everywhere. So, I don't see us hurting anything to have a date set in January or February to sit down and say, let's look at it, let's see what's working and see what's not. Because, yeah, we're probably still gonna have the same people in town who don't follow the rules, but maybe we get some better use out of it that supports our businesses and whatnot, if we do have it more open and available for folks. But, yeah, definitely on side with the idea of, let's sit down and review it.
It's that, I mean, I would like to be the optimist too, and it would be wonderful to have a group of people come through and spend a little money in a restaurant and a night stay and that kind of thing too, but then that raises the question, well, where are they gonna stay? They can't get to the Pines or the Admiral Digby or any of those facilities to stay, so will they be walking, will they be cabbing, will they be, you know, we're gonna suggest that that's what's gonna happen because you gotta drive your ATV, you're not gonna wanna leave it parked somewhere unattended.
That's one of their next phases in the future is Shore Road, get to the Pines, get to the ferry.
An overpass from the trail all the way over to,
Yeah.
where's Gordon Wilson to fund that when you need
Yeah, so I guess the next question for me is, if you put in there, this will be reviewed from 6 months from the date is passed. Once we do that review.
This is first reading.
First
Yes.
reading, yeah, so we got.
Right, so it's September,
Yeah.
so it's gonna be mid-September. If it goes to second reading in September, it's gonna be mid-September
Right.
before it's enacted, because we have to advertise it and that it's enacted. So that's, whatever date that is when it becomes enacted. Right?
What I was saying, though, you put in there 6-month review after that, but even after that, if it's good, then suddenly you start getting a massive amount of complaints.
Mhm.
You pull the policy out,
Yeah.
the bylaw out, and you make changes. Or,
I think basically, if you're talking about a mandatory review,
Yes.
but, and that's where basically
yeah,
the reason that we put it in the fire rate one is because we wanna ensure that the properties that we're exempting are still in exempt status.
Yep.
Cause if the church suddenly sells, a church building to a private individual and it becomes private, then it's no longer exempt.
so what we would like to do, for the 6 months trigger, leave it as is, leave it for the new council, or put it back on.
I just say leave it until the new council, I mean, just down the road, I mean.
60 days.
I don't mind passing it with 6 months trigger, because
Yeah.
then it gives the new council
Not to.
the chance to go in and review it themselves.
Yeah, plus that way we're moving in the same direction the provinces with their announcements and all their.
I see the CBC this week, I don't know if anybody saw those, but, yeah, they announced 3 or 4 of them were in this area, opened up roads. For ATV, usage and stuff, so you can find the article online. I meant to send it out, try to send those all out, but I was in the city on the weekend, those.
Wasn't the one.
So is that gonna, I'm just trying to get
Yeah.
how we word this, so but shall be reviewed
6
No
months from
later
the date of
than-
enactment.
Although, that's through the winter. Not a lot of ATV through the winter, there is some.
Well, our winters have been quite mild lately, so I think.
Open, would be enough to judge.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is this gonna be, so does that mean that you gotta review it every 6 months?
No, the first 6 months, and then as
Yeah.
normal,
And
every
time
5
to
years.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd leave time to time.
So,
Although time to time, it's like, if we get complaints about this and it goes through, whether it's after the 6 months, we still can pull it out and say,
Yep.
Yeah.
we're not happy. Whether time to time is there, we're beyond the 6 months, we can still pull it, Jim. And we've done that plenty of times over the years.
But things slip by the wayside, so if you have it
Yeah.
mandatory 6 months, then make sure it comes up.
so if I word this way, this bylaw shall be reviewed 6 months from enactment, then from time to time, and can be amended because of experience or new knowledge.
That's
And
good, yep.
And then that way, so you got the 6 months, and then,
That's
after
what I mean.
that, it's time, whenever a problem comes up that needs addressing, then you basically review it.
Well, we just did that in the past bylaw.
Yeah.
The one with the taxes.
Yeah.
We were approached, it made sense to change it, so we changed it. And we can do the same thing with this.
Rob, is the trails grant money open or closed right now for those signs?
I think they may be open, I'm not,
I think they're open, but I think it might be for, not for us, but for
yeah,
groups that run.
Yes, then they said they would do that, yeah.
Yeah. They're on top of that. Well, it's still Keith Camo, I think it's, but it did change. Keith was still. Okay, we satisfied with the change of that wording, so you'll prepare that?
perfect. So you want that to come back in September as a first reading, or?
Can we move it now?
Well, we do, I was
do
just
it
gonna suggest we do it now for first reading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll treat this as first
Get
reading.
it over with and
And, we had that on the floor. And we didn't vote, no, we didn't vote on it, did we, Leslie?
I don't have any mover or seconder for it.
Nobody.
Oh, no, I'm talking about sorry, I'm
Yeah.
still on the tax. Okay, do someone want to move that as first reading? Just the last.
Sure, I'll move the road trails designation bylaw number 2024-03, as discussed and amended, be put forward for first reading.
second,
The other discussion. So September, well, we go through in September, so I'll get you through to March, so you see how it goes. This will be the year that we have 50 feet of snow, we'll make go to the trail. So we won't have any. All those in favor say aye.
I,
8 days, it's done.
It's currently open,
Is it
but
good?
it is for clubs.
Well, yeah, they get that stuff, I know. The acting CEO's got a report here, let's really grill her on this
Do you
stuff.
wanna, before that, Mr. Mayor, my
Oh.
business horizon?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Just we talked about it in the meetings and having a brief from the Director of Public Works over Mount Street, and we never really got that. And I'd like to go a little bit further and maybe suggest if we had a running list of projects, just so that we could keep tabs on where they are and ask why they're delayed or if they're finished or those kind of things.
Well, in regards to that, we can bring back the capital budget for review at committee of the whole meetings. Yep, you got it right there, that's what we approved, that's what he's gonna do. We're in with this, tick, 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 yeah. Do we have that, Tom, just a copy of the capital budget?
Yeah, that way you have the list anyway.
Yeah, you have your list, and he's
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because he was working on reports.
Yeah.
And for basically for committee, in addition to his regular report, just the project reports as well, is what we sort of discussed, so. If that's, just wanna make sure, but,
yeah.
It's just I don't know, you guys, I've got questions and had to go find the answers, and I got them, I just were driving around and observing, but
Yeah.
it would have been nice to have,
Main
you know,
Street,
what
Tree
details,
Street,
what we're doing.
mini home,
Yeah.
bathrooms, those are the main ones.
I didn't send you guys the photo of the washrooms downtown, but, a week ago, it was a lineup.
And I saw one the other day.
Yeah, lineup to use the washrooms.
That's good.
Yeah, they're, I'm not sure how busy this one is.
That's the one I saw.
Was it? The one I saw people there, but the lineup I saw was here. They were lined up down the sidewalk. Yeah, so,
The water consumption was really good, I checked.
was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I suggest to we have a $50 counter at Van Tassel Lake. You can't see it. It's kind of hidden in the trees. And that's how we get our numbers for grants and stuff. Just stick it in there. Just say, listen, you know, there's 500 uses this month. Just so people know that they are being used, yeah.
And when you gotta go, you gotta find a place to go.
And more restaurants don't want you going unless you're a customer.
Yeah, you gotta buy something. Yeah, they put the sign right up on it. Okay.
Subway.
Mickey's in Vegas today, isn't it? Any questions for?
Did we let him do we didn't let him do his report yet, that was Paul's, thing under.
Yeah, no, we're moving to,
Now we let Tom.
Tom, well, Tom and Leslie, they're both on this. Anything to add, you two, to this? Anything to add to the CEO report?
No.
Any idea, Tom, when the guardrail will be back on Shore Road?
I know that he's getting pricing. Told me today he was getting pricing, so.
Is it be replaced, so we can't put the old one back?
The old one will go back, yes, on the shore side, but there's a new one on the other side, right? That's, so.
Well, that's
And I guess when we took out the guardrail, they inadvertently took out the guardrail as well as, they took it down to do the construction, but the way the wording was, that the guardrails were gonna be done by the town, so that's why they didn't put them back up, right?
Some people there may not be happy with the new guardrail, but it's required, that's,
Yeah, well, hopefully.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Hopefully we've got that averted, so you're not gonna make people 100% happy, but at least, you know, had to come to a bit of a compromise and, anyway, we have referred the flooding incident to our insurers. Basically because of the damage done to the residents there. And, so, I think the adjuster, Ed and I are meeting with the adjuster tomorrow morning, so, just to go over the thing and provide him with the pictures and stuff that we're taking, and,
Does that include the pictures taken of the call prior to the? Prior to the flood, the culvert, the old culvert, because you can stand there on the beach and look right straight through. I'll send you one.
or when the old one was there.
It's still there, yeah. Okay.
No, yeah, we got one of those. I don't think we
Yeah.
got one from the beach side.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, the beach
anyway,
side, so.
we've got some that one of the residents took the day before the last flood.
Oh, yeah.
And, it did have some debris in it at that time.
Yeah, no, this one was
No.
taken before any of the floods, yeah.
But nobody, thought that he was gonna get back on
No.
the ring in that short a
see if I can find that.
If you see the amount of water that went through the golf course, it took up their road on number 2.
Yeah, oh, that looks crazy.
And, it is, there was a lot, and I was told that the dam was still in when it started. So, which made it, more problem for it should have been, but they took that road out and, they still haven't, they said a month, I'd be surprised if it's done again this year, and now it'll, in more rain, just widen it, and, but there's a lot of water left from there down to the racket.
Oh, you look at the Racket Pond, well, yeah, it's changed that, with all the mud and silt that come down in through there.
And I don't know if you've changed that book that's up there up on the racket, up on Mount Pleasant, but that's the only way you can change that book somehow.
And you can't touch those.
Yep, no. That's it.
Actually, can we add the Racket Pond as a new business item for after, just to discuss the fountain we have there and what we might need to do for long term to make sure it's not pushing up mud instead of water?
Well, yeah, it's quite muddy there now after the rain, I looked at it today.
Yeah.
Don't know what you can do there. Yeah, we'll do that. Committee of the whole. You wanna make a recommendation to first events bowling date for the
With that, first advance bowling date, 2024 municipal election, town of Digby election was set for Saturday, October the 12th, 2024.
I'll second that.
Any discussions? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Derek.
What's in your package?
Anything going on there this summer? What you got there?
That I know of.
No. The splash park is
Well, used.
a lot of use, working well.
What's the water bill?
Haven't been yet.
Didn't get it.
They told me what the usage was that first weekend. It was lots of liters of water, but I don't know. Yeah.
I heard a rumor downstairs around 9 to 10,000.
Yeah, it would be.
That's just rumor, please, don't take that as gospel.
Was that a big argument?
I said, don't take that as gospel,
No,
that's
no,
just
no,
rumor from
We knew it would
downstairs.
be a lot, but I just wondering how much.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, wasn't that our entire year forecast for,
No, I don't think. They feed Nova Scotia 25,000. That caused some stir, and then
$22 an hour for a gardener.
27 at first.
27 at first.
Yes.
Minnesota went 22.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It was,
I guess overall, I still have a problem with the lack of detail on the reports. When, for example, is the bathroom at the splash pad going to be finished? I still don't know. I guess like it boils down to me, it's top 5 in what the town spends money on. So if we would request her to be at our committee of the whole 3 times a year, just like we're requesting the RCMP, I think that's more than fair. So that we could ask some more questions.
we could do that. The staff sergeant said he's looking forward to coming.
Good.
Yeah,
Awesome.
he's
pretty,
he's well spoken.
he's being minded.
Yeah.
Good.
So he's looking forward to coming.
that'd be cool.
Yeah, and I said you're welcome. Yeah, that's an easy ask, cause it's $500,000.
Is the $20,000, oh, I guess, sorry, that's not approved yet.
No.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna say, but that's in addition to the previous grant monies they've already received towards the Zamboni?
Yeah, I don't know if they've received it all, but it's,
Okay, yeah, so that one still isn't approved, it's just submitted, but, that would be good.
Basically, that will net out. What we
Okay.
So on Shreve Street, they've taken out the sidewalk on one side of the street. They've put a new one, cement, on the other side of the street. where they took out the first one, are they going to repave and put a third lane?
That's the plan.
Okay.
At least at the intersection, back from the intersection, so you can have your right hand. One don't turn going out, you won't be lined up waiting for the one that's turning left and has to
Yes.
wait for traffic. So that is the plan, yes. That's why that was taken out, so we get that extra space.
I was asked why we haven't paid right to Conway Workshop, and I said, well, that's the district, but if they wanna partner with us to make an improvement in that whole area, we'd be more than happy to discuss it. So I said,
Maybe she's trying to pave the other end first.
yes, yeah, yeah. Okay, returning officers report. What do you got for us?
That's me again.
Yeah.
So basically, in a summary, I just need you to set the date for, preliminary list of electors to be completed, and then it becomes an amended list, so. That's just the electors, so. Typically, we would do that just prior to first day of nomination, so I've asked for it to be August 28th. That's okay with you folks?
I'll make that motion. Be resolved that the amended list of electors for the October 19th, 2024 municipal election will be set for August 28th, 2024.
Second.
You second?
Second.
Peter did.
Peter,
It
okay.
was quicker than me.
And it should probably be interesting to see how many new names and things like that are on that list over the last 4 years. New people moving in, many people moving out, so it'll be a new list.
Yeah, many new faces around town. No idea where these people are coming from.
No, there's a lot. All those in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? No. Planning.
I'll move the town of Digby enter into a development agreement with LBM Fisheries Limited to permit the development of a new residential dwelling on lot 2022 along Shore Road, PID number 303828816, as detailed in the application dated June 18th, 2024.
Second. Council Shelby. I visited his family of Fox. Down there, got 5 of them. Visited 5 Fox. Where they're at down there. All those in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? None. A letter from the,
Before we just move on, we have to set a date for the public hearing, which we usually use the next council meeting, or September's council meeting, so that's all right, that's what we'll use.
Fine.
Yep.
And
That gives
that
you
way
time.
we have the hearing, you can go into council and
Get it done, yeah.
Sure.
So, we'll have enough time to do our proper advertisements prior to the meeting.
Oh, yeah, that's why we do it, to give that month to be able to get the ads in, that we need to be in.
Okay.
So.
And correspondence there, a letter from the commissioner, or assistant commissioner about doing an apology at North Crescent. Final action.
You driving up?
Am I driving up? Well, I wasn't really thinking about it, but it might, I'll be talking to Brendan Francis and all them very soon, so. If, it might be if there's some, from the member of the community here going, it might be worth going up.
Okay.
Yeah. Leslie, you sent us a bunch of Brock University study. They wanna do a study.
No, I think, did you have something?
Oh, Paul, yeah, correspondence.
Yes.
Yeah, correspondence.
2 things under correspondence.
2?
Every time, same as you, every time that we request a letter be sent to the RCMP, provincial government, could we make a policy that all councillors are copied on those? Because sometimes we don't know if it's gone or not.
If a letter goes from council, it'll be in the package, so the letter hasn't gone, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And the other thing, in light of what happened with the Clark Shopper and the municipality, perhaps we could send them a letter and ask if they get anything from the town, please call the office and verify it's actually legitimate. That's terrible.
Oh, that threw them under the bus.
And it's the only thing available to us now to use as publishing. Yeah.
And as I said, I talked to the deputy warden, and they contacted that Claire Shopper and essentially got an apology. Yes, we should have verified this. There should have been names attached to it,
Yeah.
and there wasn't. So, and then, of course, you see the district putting it out there and saying, this is not us. This is not coming from council. This is coming from a citizen, expecting them to make motions. And I expect that people aren't going to see that. They're going to see the original one, and they're going to be at the meeting, which I think is tomorrow night,
Next week coming up.
next week. That there'll be people there expecting a conversation about
13th, I think.
Yeah, 13th. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, to add to that, I mean, we probably wanna make sure we avoid the same thing for the election.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I gotta take out ads for everybody that's running, just to make sure that everyone knows how terrible they are.
Yeah, I don't, I guess, I don't know why did they do that?
They'll probably be a lot more careful, I think, going forward with it,
hope
but
so.
at the same time, it doesn't hurt to just let them know. We
Yeah.
wanna make sure
Please call.
you're contacting us to just confirm that is in fact the town's information, not something else.
They're not a newspaper, but they are represented as.
They still have a responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That came from an individual that lives up my street.
I mean, if it did, I have to be honest, if it's something that happened like that to the town, I would almost insist we press lavishers. You can't let something like that go.
Yeah.
At least get an apology when you have to pursue it.
Yeah, has there been a Claire Shopper since that one?
I don't think so.
No, it'd be interesting to see if there's anything in the new
Yeah.
Claire Shopper, which would be, I don't know, yeah.
Can we just go back to the correspondence piece, if you
Yeah.
don't mind, that you asked about?
Yes.
So typically, we draft correspondence downstairs. We have the mayor sign it, we just send it.
Yes.
But that's the correspondence that you want to come.
It should be in the
So we know
package,
what's
yeah.
going on.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, I just looking, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Any letters I do, when I have number and anything for a while now, I stick there, or I send them out. I try to send, any emails I get, anything I get, I try to forward right off to council. That's why you see emails from me. Or anything I see interesting, send them out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, cause I'm not taking the fall for everything. What?
That's fair.
Okay.
Both sides suffer?
Thanks. But you're right, that was horrifying.
Oh,
What they-
yeah. And the
I read that.
potential, yeah.
I read it and I called and said, what is this about?
I read it, it was funny. I read it, and 10 minutes later, I saw the municipalities post.
Oh, I didn't, I
And I
called.
thought, oh, ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
Yeah.
But that's, yeah. Rock University.
So I received a call from this lady named Nicole Goodman. She is a professor of political science at the university in Ontario, somewhere in Ontario.
Yep.
Rock University, St. Catharines, Ontario.
Yep.
So I included the information in the package. Basically what they want to do is have council's approval to add an exit survey at the end of the online voting process or telephone process. Each survey will take 7 to 8 minutes to complete, and once the data is gathered by the folks at the university, then they can provide us with quite a detailed report of the data that they collect.
Too long.
No.
It's, I think that voting process has to remain as transparent as possible and unattached to any other thing in this world.
Yep.
I really firmly agree.
Agree, because the thing is, we've got people who are hesitant, or has been hesitant.
Yes.
To use the voting, online voting. And if you add one more step, right? Some have trouble navigating it, as simple as it is.
Remember the school board?
Yeah,
The school board, when we had that tag the school board on our votes?
yeah. So, no.
And you leave it there for 7 minutes, for a questionnaire for 7 minutes?
Nobody's gonna take the time to do that.
And it's becoming passe, you know, the electronic voting, well, one of these studies is 2016, like this, well, you know, I was gonna say 10 years ago or something, but 8 years ago, and there's been some longer than that, so when do we just accept the fact that you vote electronically?
Yes.
Yeah.
But when you tie it to other things,
Yeah.
very murky waters.
I agree, I read that too, and I said, no. And some people come in here to vote electronically, so you're gonna have.
I mean, I'm sure that they would probably have it set up as, you know, do you want to participate? If yes or no, but the thing is, some people may look at it and say, well, I think I'm obligated or my vote didn't go through.
Not only that, are they gonna be, people are suspicious now, are they suspicious, well, you already know how I voted, because
Yeah.
now you're asking me all these questions related to how I voted.
Yeah. No, I sent it back, said this time we're not interested.
Very good.
Yeah. Keep it
Suggest they
simple.
get a hold of Wolfville, they probably do, or maybe Annapolis.
Yeah, well, so this, yeah. Well, Wolfville, you know, the academia there, they have lots of people that can make the time to do this, but, yeah. So tell them we're not interested.
I certainly will.
We want it fast and slick, and people wanna get in, they wanna get out.
No problem. I
No
told her I'd
problem.
bring it
So all the
forward.
studies, I did go through the studies, and, you know, I don't think there's much difference between municipalities in Ontario and here. But everybody in Ontario is here now, so you're getting the same results. Did I say that?
I'm not keeping it.
Paul,
Victoria Street,
Victoria Street.
could we get the lawnmower at the mobile home?
It's ours.
We're gonna have to cite ourselves.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Do we know where we're at with that? Is it ready?
That's a good question.
Yeah, is it ready?
It's,
No?
yeah, there's a couple of little things left, only today, and, so, I would say by next week it should be.
And are we going to plant some kind of shrubbery hedge, whatever that we discussed when we first started talking about it?
Something between, the mobile home and the property next door. We discussed that idea before.
Yeah, we discussed hedges or
Yeah,
fences
or
or something.
Might be a good time of year to go and buy some, probably, yeah.
It is, I've been buying stuff.
So.
Even if it's little things that need to be done, you can still put it on the market.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that reminds me, I get an email from our coordinator, navigator.
Yeah, we get it, yeah. Looking, yeah.
Looking and was wondering about that particular building for housing for health professionals. Yeah, so my response was, right now, council's direction was that we were going to 100%. But I said, I will go back and ask council. I don't think they were looking for it to be sold to, or for a health professional to buy, but to rent, right?
For the foundation or them, yeah.
So.
It
Anyway,
wasn't our plan to be landlords again.
no, I'm not gonna disagree with that because we've got, more we can handle right now.
It's, I was involved quite a bit, and down here at the apartment at Basin Shores, people coming and going all the time, so that's what you'll be dealing with.
Yes.
It's people coming and going all the time, things that we need to do, come and go, who's gonna clean it for the next doctor coming in, are they gonna clean it, we gonna clean it, all kinds of stuff, there's a lot of management issues with down here. They do a good job, but they pay a substantial amount of money to keep that in there, the foundation, so. For what they're paying for that, they can probably buy that. So.
Remember our criteria was, someone who might not be able to afford an average price home in the town of Digby, someone who might possibly be a single parent family, children, those were all the criteria we laid out. We talked about renting, we talked about trying to make an affordable house for someone.
That was the plan.
And that's, I just told her that I would ask, give her any encouragement as to whether, because, like we don't need to be landlords. Right, we inherited one, and that's,
We're terrible landlords. I mean, terrible at the money collecting part.
yeah.
Like
I did it was healthy for me, but that's because I could be on it all the time, right? But that there, I think they wanna buy it, they buy it, maybe tough in, but, I think it's right. Here's an opportunity to say, listen, we get an affordable house here, for somebody to buy.
Yes. And it will be the first time that this council has tangibly helped someone who needs a home.
Yeah. I think we're all in agreement on that. I
promised her was that, bring it to the council to see whether any direction will change or discussion.
Yep.
Okay.
Can always ask.
Yes.
Yeah.
I made notes here of everything. You added something late.
Right.
We'll allow that to go.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's good.
Is there any way that, with the note that, with all the storms that we've had of late, the rainstorms, that we keep, the pond keeps filling up more and more silt, but also our fountain there has sat on the mud for a little bit, and I know that was when we pulled the thing.
No, it was on the mud before that.
It was on the mud before that, okay. So is it feasible or possible to look at the idea of creating a small, almost welled area within the pond to always have a water reservoir below it instead of it being at the whim of, all the mud? So a few feet back from where the fountain is, having almost like a brick half wall going around it, like half moon to.
Yeah, I think, Tom, didn't they drag it into the brook? Yeah. See, it's in a brook there now. It gets shoved over onto that mud, and then I think when they just fixed it, they pulled it back into
The other flood, the one that we had, the first flood out at Shore Road, that's when it all went, that storm, the golf course went, that's when the silt come down and shoved it up. That's why it wasn't pumping.
But in the long term, that water is even shallower now. When you look, you start to see the grass grow. When I lived out there, that was a marsh.
Yeah.
It was a marsh, and then the town put the dam in. I think long term, you're gonna have some challenges there. It's gonna grow up, and you're gonna have a fountain in the middle of the field.
Well, I remarked to Councillor McCormick that looking at the last storm and the high tide, I don't think we raised that road either.
Oh, no, I look at the seaweed there. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I don't know, well, I guess you can always get permission, you gotta get permission when you put equipment out on.
Yeah, and I am dead for, we're gonna get permission from environment doesn't want you in anything.
You could put a well crop there, I suppose.
Yeah, you might be able to.
Set a well crop.
And then
Yes,
have it so that it's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be worth asking.
like old things or.
Well, then that
Yeah.
or find somewhere different to stick the fountain down the road, because it's gonna be spitting up mud in the future, not too distant future.
Well, I looked at it today when I got back in town, and the whole Racket Pond is just mud now. That's because of the rain last night. It's still pulling stuff down from the brook and the golf course, so.
Yeah, still money.
Yeah, I know.
That's why the waters are so dirty there now, it's all that
Silt coming.
silt and stuff, yeah.
That might be worth starting to investigate. It's not an easy process with environment, but at least you don't even know if you can get equipment out there. You'd have to build a ramp.
That stuff is pretty, whether you can get in, have to get something from the bank and have long,
Yeah.
something with a long boom and stuff that could.
And
Something
isn't
like-
that where, I don't wanna say PCBs, but there's creosote from the old wharf dredges, isn't that where a lot of that was dumped years and years ago?
There was dredging material taken on the Victoria Street side. They built that all up, long time ago. I don't know if there's any timbers there, but I know the dredging material was dumped there.
Maybe just hire a guy with a four-wheeler to pull a plow behind.
Make that part of the trail. But anyway, yeah, I think we're gonna have to do something.
Yeah, we made an investment there, we put
Yeah.
the fountain there, and it's,
We can make the
I'd
dam
rather-
a little higher.
yeah, I'd rather not get destroyed too soon, and that one's of course an option, but then, you know, based on a couple storms back, we were, 6 inches from having water come over from the landlocked side onto,
Yeah,
on the
you're
road.
right. And that's, if you put another board there, you bring the water up that much further. And does that create problems with the pumping station there?
It's designed to pump water, just test it out a little bit more.
Well, it floods it though. You see the red light on it.
Oh, you could probably put some, you might be able to put some rock.
Yeah.
Armor rock in, more armor rock in there so that it would.
Yeah. But it's a shame, who anticipated, that being built up?
Yeah.
David's is
3 and 4, yeah, David Suzuki, yes. Yeah. but
Do we,
it's a shame.
there's no debris in that, pipe, is there? Did we get that cleared? The one coming down from the Pines golf course? Into the farm?
As far as I know, it got cleared.
Yeah, I walked by one day, and it was cleared up, yeah.
Yeah,
But you
'cause-
see the silt there
Yeah.
that's built up.
Well, and like you say, it was marked, but a little delta, right?
Yeah.
And that's what got filled in.
Yeah.
And so there's now, it's probably not much more than that much water.
And
over
in
top
that,
of really mud.
yeah,
Yeah.
in that there, yeah. Yeah. Okay, there. That's for the new council to talk about. That was the last thing on the agenda. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Yeah.